A lot of people have asked how astronauts sleep at night.
Till next time.
The answer is yes. The places they're most visible is where the most people are, naturally. The biggest cities, over the big cities in China, over a lot.
I'm on board the space station. How do you read us?
Right off there, as we look onto the horizon and see the atmosphere, it gives a really, really cool effect to the horizon as we look below us.
Ahead quite a bit, don't we? Because we're 240 miles away from the Earth, and we need a big rocket engine to get back to Earth. So if we have an emergency, there's three big ones. You know, if something bad for us that got into the air, if we lost our air, or if there's a fire that broke out, or if somebody had a medical problem that they need to get to the hospital, those are all things we have to take care of right away. So we trained for 2.5 years for this flight, and a lot of that time we trained to take care of emergencies if they happen. So we wouldn't even have to think about it. We just do it. As soon as we came to the emergency, we'd do it. Now, if things got really bad, we have our spaceship to get home with. And in about a day, we could safe the space station, turn everything off, get into our spaceship, and come home. And that's only if things got so bad we couldn't handle it. But we have a lot of smart people on the ground, a lot of equipment, so that we can take care of almost any emergency that happened. Goodbye, everybody. Those were great questions. Great talking to you. See you on Earth in a little bit. The station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Merrick Elementary School and students.
Hi, Chris Hadfield on the International Space Station. Today we're talking.
You'll look at the way metals form in zero gravity, and it's very important for us to look at the way the crystals form because it can make things very much stronger. And so these are things that can only be done in zero gravity, and we have no lack of ideas of things to do up here, and we're here to facilitate it.
So for Chris Hadfield, how does zero gravity affect how you play your guitar?
Hey, thanks for the question. I just happen to have brought my guitar with me right here. This is a nice standard acoustic guitar, 6-string, metal string. The difference, of course, is you don't need a strap because it just floats in front of you. The strings behave about the same, but it can resonate really well because it's not deadened against your body, and it sounds about right here. We'll play something.
For a long period of time and their friends is to readapt. You know, my family has been having their own lives and doing wonderful things on the Earth. We miss each other. We keep in touch a little bit. But when I get back, I'm going to be integrated back into the family, and it's going to, you know, maybe take a little while for them getting used to me.
Like a raincoat, but up here on the space station, they allow you to play ping pong with a ball of water.
Rather than scatter it throughout different places and trash on the space station if there's something we don't eat, just so it would prevent us from having to go and retrieve it later. And a lot of, a lot of capability, a lot of science racks and science modules and science on board. So, you know, unfortunately, we did lose some stuff on SpaceX, and I really feel bad, especially for the kids out there that conclusions or can draw any specific conclusions from that. But I think it's been a great success, and I'm hopeful, and I think a lot of other people are, is that we're gonna learn a lot of information that will help us eventually.
Special masks that you squeeze the lever on, these inflate, put over top of your head.
Great to have you here. So now you're traveling at just under 5 miles per second, about 17,000 miles an hour. How long does it take you to orbit the planet?
Remind me about the second half of this question in a minute. So I don't want to have to tell you all my secrets, but I will let you in on a little one. It is very tough to get on the internet itself up here. I can do it, but it really is difficult. So what I generally do, our email connectivity is fantastic. And I've got a gentleman on the ground who works at NASA. And where I'm standing right now, just so you know, this is the U.S. laboratory. So this is really the heart of the space station, and this is where the science goes on. I'm standing right here with Robonaut. We're working on some upgrades on him. I've got a German experiment running over here in a glove box. We've got a furnace here. We've got a really high-power microscope here. So right now, even though there's no people, this is just absolutely booming with science, even as we're talking here on the camera.
You can definitely see it from this global perspective. And it's really just a visual reminder of the necessity to think about what we do as individuals. They glow blood red and then yellow and orange and then blue, sort of drive into the sunshine, and the whole horizon suddenly glows beautiful orange and glow blood red, and that happens so fast, and it happens 16 times a day. We're finding out all sorts of things. Behind me right here is a Canadian experiment that's looking at how to make materials better, like paint, where there's little tiny bits of stuff dissolved in a liquid that on Earth they behave differently because of gravity. We're also collecting energy from the universe, trying to find out what the universe is made of. And we're also understanding the human body, dark matter, and trying to understand antimatter. And there's a big magnet on the top of the space station, collect that. So I think there's all sorts of different things we're going to find here that are going to help us understand the universe better and help us live better on Earth. Been looking. We have sent probes to pretty much every planet in the solar system and a couple of the moons. We've been to a few asteroids. We even have a couple spaceships that have gone out of our solar system, basically, beyond where the sun has an influence. It's right on the edge of that now. And we have not found any living thing anywhere else except Earth.
Hi, Commander Hadfield. My name is Charlotte Kaya, and I am in grade 1.
So it's really confusing at first to have no up or down. Your body gets very confused by that. The next is gravity doesn't push your blood down to your feet anymore. So your whole fluid shifts. It's like standing on your head. So you get a big headache and everything moves up to your head. You get a big swollen head. But also your body decides, I don't need a strong skeleton anymore. And so you start to lose your skeleton. So we exercise really hard, 2 hours every day to keep our skeleton, our muscles strong. And the rest of it we just let sort of get used to being in space. My legs got really skinny up here in space because gravity's... It's a Larry Vega guitar. But I find up on the space station that I have to tune it more often. Is have a hot shower. That way is the world, and the world is this beautiful big blue curve. It's gorgeous, and it's really fun to float to the window and see South America right there out your window. It's like a present, like a gift every time that suddenly gets opened when you go to the window. Thank you very much. We'll play a little music on the way out.
A lot of interviews all over the world. This is our first, my first certainly doing one out of this world. I have to ask you to tell us kind of, you know, not where in the world you are, but literally, where are you in the International Space Station?
Hi, Chris Hadfield on the International Space Station. Today
I'm on board the space station. How do you read us?
Time of astronauts. And then, of course, in the evenings and the quiet times, we read and watch movies. The mission control team is very nice. They'll send us up movies, or I like basketball, so you might know that there's some big college basketball games going on this weekend, and I think tonight. So those are the types of things we do, but the most basic thing is enjoy our friendship and our international partnership.